So, Ahiru no Sora episode 35 just came out, and it revived the fucking anime. So before I get into the topic, I do want to just say this video does contain a lot of spoilers. So if you haven't watched the episode yet, I highly advise you go and watch it. And if you don't care about it, then sure, let's move on. Um, well, let's just remind ourselves of how Ahiru no Sora was going until this point. So they just lost the first Inter match, got knocked out. Everyone was really sad. Sora's mum has just died. It's a really bad time. It's really dark times right now. So what do we see in this episode? In the first few minutes, well, we see Momoharu getting cheered up by Chiaki with that hilarious little first segment of the animation we had where they were just fighting and Momoharu was getting his frustration out. Well, since he was suspended and all, right? So yeah, I mean that was really nice to watch. Chiaki really making sure that his brother is not just giving up and actually has the drive to play. I mean, not just crying about it, I guess. The next thing we see, I guess, is well, this was really cool. So Toby or Kite or whatever the fuck, I mean, this guy, he was always like shown to be this insane player who was like head and shoulders above the rest on his team. Like he was so much better than Sora that he literally just owned him in the 1v1 they had earlier on in the season, right? So, I mean, he was shown as this insane superpowered character who would just get all the points in the game. And I mean, we saw in the last episode that he was like starting to regret his decision of not going to the other school since, well, they burned the clubhouse down and whatnot. And he was like, why did I stay with these idiots, right? Well, what we see is, well, him getting put to the ground, essentially. This guy, this orange head guy, just rolls the fuck up and destroys him in a one-on-one. Well, what this actually does, well, what this actually looks like it does, is gives Toby a purpose, right? Like it gives him a reason to keep playing basketball with this team and improve and beat the shit out of that guy instead, after they've come back on the scene and face this guy. Since this guy's so good, I mean, they'll eventually go against him, that kind of stuff, right? Like sports anime. The next thing we see, I guess, is Sora coming back, which is, I mean, I guess it's no surprise. The anime is called Ahiro no Sora, right? Like, um, he comes back to play basketball with these guys, and well, he definitely just comes back and fixes everything. I mean, he comes back and he goes to the club room and just literally just acts normal. I mean, he's like, "Oh, we lost, yeah, I guess, but we can just look forward to next year then, right?" Like, there's nothing holding us back from looking at next year. Not like we have third year senpais or whatever graduating this year and we can't play basketball anymore. I mean, the team was really young anyway. Everyone was like second year max, so they definitely have next year. And like, this is something we just, well, I guess I definitely didn't consider in the anime that there's always next year. If you can't make it this year because your team's utter garbage, you can definitely look forward to next year when you've trained for an entire year. And since most of the team was just struggling with the fact that they haven't trained enough, like Chucky and Nabe and the other dude, sorry, I forgot your name, and Chiaki and Momoharu recently coming out of retirement, and Natsume or Toby just not having enough training years in a team, and the other tall guy, forgot his name again, sad, just coming, well, yeah, just coming back as well. So this is just like such a good, well, it's a band-aid, yeah, but it's just so perfect that they get to train for an entire year and really just come back as, well, at their full potential, I want to say, but I mean, definitely better than they were this year, right? So they won't completely get trashed next year, or that's the hope anyway. I mean, this builds us up into probably like 1 year worth of training arc, which, I mean, I love training arcs, dude. In anime, in sports anime in general, training arcs are fucking great. They serve as motivation. They're like, wow, this team is really just gonna do something. It's really fun to watch. And having a whole year worth of training arc and how much they're going to improve is really like that's a big time span. Like no anime has ever, well, not from my memory, has ever used the entire year to just get better. Since they always have some bullshit second tournament in the year lined up anyway that they're just gonna win if they lose the first one. But this is different. This gives us a lot of hope for what how much improvement we can see from Sora and his team. So, well, why this episode was so legendary? Um, well, honestly, before this episode, it looked like things were going pretty badly, and I mean, we knew it had to get fixed anyway, since it's anime and not everything can just be sad all the time. It has to get fixed. But I think this episode definitely did a really good job at just doing it all in one go. It literally gave all our characters enough motivation to keep playing with the 1 year goal and fixed Toby. Um, really just made his character like worth something, have a purpose in life, and well, it was definitely better than what I'd expected this anime to come up with. And if this anime can come up with more episodes like this and more just real high quality content, then this anime can potentially just be really, really fucking good in the future.